What up, everybody? Eddy here for another Geek Show. It's been a while, but Patrick and I are so glad to be rocking the airwaves again. What's up, sir?
What's going on? How are you, my amigo?
Doing well. It was great seeing you in South by Southwest. And also, thank you so much for the sweet retro Star Wars droid factory. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check social media because my man, when we were hanging out in South by Southwest, I saw this like old school Star Wars like toy from back in the day, and I was like, oh, I want to pick this up. Totally forgot about it again. And then he's like, a couple days ago, I get in the mailbox, it's there.
Yeah. Well, we were just talking about it. I went back to the toy shop where they had it, and I was just like, what are the chances somebody else picked this up and it's already gone? And it wasn't. And I was happy to get it for you, man. I knew you'd like that. So everybody, if you are watching, let us know where you're watching from. We love finding out all of our friends from all over the world. So throw it into the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, who you like to hang out with, what's your favorite shopping mall. I don't know, what else about your area? Like, do you have a favorite cow? Maybe they have a favorite cow. I don't know. So yeah, throw it into the comments. And what are we talking about, Art? Because we like when everybody talks to us in the comments. And what are we talking about tonight?
All right, so we're talking about the most creative characters in pop culture, and this show is being brought to you by Custom Ink. We're doing a really cool contest with them, so we're looking for all you creative geek dads to create a shirt design. Go to lifeoftdad.com and go check out the contest where we're asking you guys to kind of talk about and design some cool t-shirt designs. Go there, it's going to be fantastic. And
what is Custom Ink? Well, let's explain to the people what Custom Ink is, because I love it. I think it's awesome. Like, I know there's a lot of websites out there that do this kind of thing, but they do it more just like like in a weird way. But what does Custom Ink do? They make
t-shirts. They make different designs, and you become like, you can create your own t-shirt. It's fantastic. So make sure that you go to lifeoftdad.com, check out Design with Dad contest. And we're very thankful for this week. And then the following week, Custom Ink is sponsoring the shows and also doing the contest. So make sure you read the rules and directions on when you can get in there. And we hope see a lot of cool t-shirts. And hey, you can win those t-shirts and also a sweet gift card from Custom Ink. So thank you so much.
All right. Whoever the sixth person to go in to design a shirt, I'm going to wear that shirt in petite size on one of our shows.
Nice.
What do you think?
I like that, and I'll hook you up with a couple of DVDs as well, too. Some Blu-rays, DVDs of your choice. We'll kind of do that, so do that. I like that. That's
perfect.
Fantastic. All right, so here we go. Oh, right off the bat, man, look at this. Andy Schreider says, Elaine's boyfriend Putty. I like that, man. That's fantastic.
He's a great character. He's really funny.
And I feel like he evolved throughout, the series. I remember like one of the times I loved was when he painted his face, and Elaine's like, "I'm dating a face painter." He's like, "Yeah, I gotta support the team," and like, "Go Devils!"
He's so good.
Oh,
he's been on. Do you watch a series of Unfortunate Events?
Yes,
love him as the little narrator. And he's in, if you go to Disneyland or Disney World, he's the narrator on the Soaring Over the World adventure ride, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, excellent.
He's a really cool dude. So, Andy, nice job right there. We got someone checking out from Nova Scotia, Canada. Someone from Texas.
I believe it's pronounced Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it's not. We've got Matt Jones saying from Australia. That's awesome. Someone from Indian Mound, Tennessee over here. Thanks for checking in.
What's up,
Scott says Darth Vader. Now, to me, of course, we're talking earlier about how you rocked a sweet surprise for me getting the Droid Factory, but also, I mean, of course, I'm going to be biased on this, but I think not only did I appreciate Darth Vader in the original trilogy, but then like you see whether or not people like the prequels or not, I dug them. I like, Anakin's backstory. And again, like we've talked about books you should read. The Dark Lord is a fantastic read and kind of goes in the mind of Darth Vader between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. So I love that character. So
all right. In that sense, though, I'm going to have to disagree with Scott Miller just because in the original movies, he's a great bad guy, but he's a really one-dimensional bad guy. He's just a bad guy, Then, I mean, later on, then it seems like they develop his character and they give him more background and stuff like that. So then he becomes a more well-rounded, good character and stuff like that. But initially, he's just in black. He's sort of robotic. He cuts off Luke's hand. He's just kind of a jerk. I don't know if there's really a lot of depth to him in the beginning. I love him. I love him as a character, but I wouldn't say he's the most creative character out there.
Well, yeah, I could see maybe one dimension on the original trilogy, but again, the prequels, you see how he was kind of birthed, and now from the midichlorians and the Force stuff.
Him getting birthed? I did not see. Maybe you got the director's cut. I did not witness that version.
You didn't see that? I got to send that to you.
Pit of Sarlacc, where he's just like.
Oh, that's awesome. We got someone from Carolina Beach, North Carolina. Montreal, my wife says MJ. Now, who MJ from pop culture? Is that Mary Jane Watson? Who's the most?
Michael Jackson. Clearly.
All right. We got someone just saying hey. We got Jess saying hey. We got someone from Australia.
Hey, Jess, you got something on your nose. Missouri.
Boy George. Oh,
Boy
Joe,
George, let's
know how you design them.
Yeah, let's thank Boy George.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is a character, but I'm actually looking for in pop culture. And would you consider an artist like a musician a character?
I think that's part of pop culture, right? Yeah,
because you create
creative,
right?
He dresses creatively. He's a creative performer. He's got great music. Let's hear some. Let's hear some Karma Chameleon. Come, chameleon. You come and go. You come and go.
Loving, living like my dreams.
Red, gold, and green.
Red, gold, and green. Our boy Kelly says Newman, go kind of with the. Don't you have to almost think the Seinfeld characters, the secondary, tertiary characters were even better because you wanted to know more about them. And when you had those episodes, you got to see Newman's apartment or what he did with the mail. I love the fact that he's this mail's from last week. And they're aren't you going to deliver it? Yeah, sometime.
Things like that. I feel you can make them so much more interesting because you can make them completely off the wall. Because you don't have to base the rest of your show around that. You can just keep people guessing. It's he's in, he's back out. It doesn't matter why he's in love with an ostrich. We don't have to explain that anymore because he's gone.
Jess is asking a very important question, how you design the T-shirts. Again, go to lifeoftdad.com. Go to Design with Dad, the contest. It's right on the main page. It's right there. It'll show you all the different ways you can design it. But Custom Ink, they have a really cool thing about the design. The way you can design it is really cool and really simple. So check it out. We've got again.
Are you gonna design a shirt art? I want to design something.
Heck yeah, man. Pickle Rick, creative.
Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick is extremely creative because Rick Sanchez makes himself into a pickle. Do you know why? So he doesn't have to go to church. And then he's stuck as a pickle, and he has to figure his way out of becoming by fighting rats and making himself a robotic body. It's amazing. Yeah, he's fantastic. Pickle Rick is the best. Jess, we're hanging out sometime.
We also got Homer Simpson. Now, do you see him as a creative character?
Again, I think developed later on. Yeah, think of all the jobs he's had. And he lists them all out one time. He's got to be creative himself. One-dimensional to start with, just an angry dad, but then eventually, season 4 to 5, 6, he really evolves and comes into himself as a loving father and stuff like that. Creative character, I don't know. I don't know.
First of all, Brandon, thank you very much for your service. We appreciate it. And he goes, I'm not the only military member / dad. Has anyone ever thought of a military dad, kind of like a grunt work shirt? Love that, man. Love that. Go design it, man. Go design it. And if it's
we don't have to think about it. You just talk about it. Put it in there.
Love it. Okay, this is right up your alley. Brandon Thomas is saying Jamie Lannister.
Ooh. I think I would say almost every character in Game of Thrones because you equally, and I would say the same thing for a lot of the characters in Lost also, because every episode you can go from loving a character to absolutely despising them to loving them again because of the way they're written out. Like you totally feel for them, and you know why they are doing what they're doing, but at the same time you're like, oh, this person's so awful for doing it. So yeah. I don't. We always have a tough time defining what we're actually meaning when we say things. Because now I'm like, are they written creatively, or are they supposed to be creative themselves as pop culture people?
Well, it works either way because this show we just try and see it from all perspectives, right?
Exactly.
How excited were you when the trailer dropped for Game of Thrones?
Very excited. I'm just excited to see the end of the end of the show, and then to see the prequels coming up. But did you see the announcement today for Bill and Ted?
Yes.
Dude.
That they almost looked like they were getting into character, and I love the fact that what's the name of the movie? Like Face the Music.
Face the Music, yeah. Because what's their band?
Wild Stallions.
Hell yeah.
I'm wondering like what's gonna happen to them? They're facing them. Like I'm so intrigued by this. Like I love those movies, and both of them were great in my opinion. And I haven't watched it in a while, but like seeing those two guys and like giving the announcement, man, I was so psyched for that.
I know, that was freaking rad. And I remember hearing a rumor about it a while ago, but then being like, it's just kind of dying out. And I was like, that was wishful thinking from a bunch of people. And now here we are. It's very excited. Dale Wicker from Kansas. What's up, Dale?
Is this an interview with Captain Picard? It's because I'm bald. Is that it?
No, it's because you're charming and smart. That's what David was getting at.
Our boy Kelly, he says, Yoda kicks butt, and we really don't know much about him. Like you always see, I agree, and especially in Attack of the Clones when he just went toe to toe with Count Dooku, his former apprentice. You always see those movies or those questions on Instagram or social media where it's like, all right, if you could choose one, like it's like four boxes. It's like a backstory on Boba Fett, and like, well, we kind of know how in like the prequels, but like what he's doing between the prequels and the original trilogy. Revan from Old Republic, and then I forgot the other one, but then or Darth Maul. You want to see like the formation of Darth Maul, and also the formation of Darth Maul. Go check out Darth Plagueis because you get a little bit insight in that. So if anybody's interested, but then lastly, the fourth one is Yoda. Like, could you imagine like? They could go, I mean, he's 900 years old, so they could go in so many different directions on where he became a Jedi, right?
Right. Well, I'm always like, whenever they do a backstory of someone, I'm always just kind of like, oh man, I hope like they always do it good. They always do it well, so, but I'm always just kind of nervous because I'm like, man, you're locking in. Like, this is it. Like, you can't redo this. Is it better to keep it open and like up to people's interpretation, or should the studio tell us this is what happened? This is what happened with Han Solo when he was younger. This is what happened with, or Yoda or something like that. That's why I love stuff like Into the Spider-Verse, which my kids are watching downstairs right now, because it says to you, hey, there's a billion different directions this can go. It doesn't. We're not in some linear passage where it's only this to that. We want to make Spider-Man like, a goose. Fine, he's a freaking goose this time. Why not? He's a Canadian goose. I said that because of all our Canadian viewers tonight. We have like 50 of them.
Oh, that's fantastic. JB says James Bond. Yeah, and here's the cool thing about that. I like JB's, and I don't know if JB stands for James Bond. If it is, that's pretty cool. But
that's very cool.
But I think for James Bond, like think about all the different actors that played him. Right? Where's he going?
Looking for my James Bond thing.
All right. So while you're talking, but you probably can still hear me, but think about all the different actors that played him and their take on them, right? Their take on James Bond, and of course the different books and all that. So I feel like James Bond is a really good answer right there because you saw the different variations of James Bond, right?
I agree 100%. I freaking love James Bond. And actually, a friend of mine a long time ago got me this really rad James Bond poster that was like, I used to have it hanging right there, but I took it off the door because I was doing stuff, and I don't know where it is. It's around my room somewhere. I was going to show you, but huge James Bond fan. George Lazenby did not get the kind of accolades he deserves. He's a great James Bond. He only did one movie, and then he quit on his own, but he was a good James Bond, and only 26 when he did it. Amazing.
This is not like I knew that because my dad was a huge into Bond and all that, and he'd always be like, trivia questions, like, all right, name all the Bond actors, and like George Lazenby, we always got that.
Yeah, my dad was huge into bondage, but it's a whole different thing.
Hey now, Billy says Wile E. Coyote because he never gives up. Love that.
Nice. Creatively crashes into like fake tunnels every day too.
Nice. Who else we got here? Samuel L. Jackson, mother. Okay, Boondocks. Are you a Boondocks fan?
Kelly Clark hasn't been on a show. Hasn't been talking to us in a long time. Where you been, Kelly?
He's been around. I've seen him here and there. We're at the mall together. We got a pretzel. It's pretty good.
Okay, perfect.
Boondock Saints. Are you a fan of that? The Boondock Saints.
I was on the first one. Yeah, I like the first one. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you can suspend all belief, then yeah, that's a great movie.
And again, going back to Kelly, says comic book characters from the 80s and 90s were pretty creative. Look at the Infinity Gauntlet series from the comics making billions nowadays. Picture of Lego, Father's one nemesis. Dracula. I like the different variations and takes on Dracula. I think one of the ones I thought was pretty interesting was, spoiler alert, I think it was like Dracula 2000 maybe.
Nice.
It came out in 2000. But you find out at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, but again, it's 19 years. You should have seen it by now if you're really into it.
Yeah, and they were saying
that Dracula was Judas from the Bible.
Nice.
I was like, that's pretty sick right there. It was pretty cool right there.
Going along that vein and talking about creativity is watching a movie like What We Do in the Shadows, which at South by Southwest they were giving away. There was a free like vampire library for the TV show that's coming out. We are not being sponsored by FX or anything like that. But if you haven't seen the movie What We Do in the Shadows, it is one of the most creative vampire movies I've ever seen, and it's absolutely hilarious. And it's about just like a bunch of vampires living in a house together, and like who's going to do the dishes and all that kind of ridiculous, like stupid nonsense that you have going on with any of your any roommates. So inside this thing, you were able to pick all these vampire books, and I got this one, The Castle of Otranto, which I haven't read yet.
Oh, very cool, man. Yeah.
It smells like an old book, and I'm excited.
Did you see our boy?
What?
Did you see our boy, Taiki?
No. Yeah, man, we tried to get to hang out with him at South by Southwest. I wish we did.
All right, I'm also seeing a trend here, too, where people are not like either it's Picard or Walter White and Jason Statham. That's what people are.
Which one would you want to be?
I think Jason Statham, man. That dude can kick some mad butt.
Maybe right? Jason Statham with Picard's like focus, maybe.
Creative right there. I love that.
Yes.
The Babe in Sandlot. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. Follow your heart, kid. You'll never go wrong.
Should I tell my Sandlot story again? We made the kid in the Sandlot throw up. He came up to my college. His brother went to our college. He came up. I didn't make him throw up, but other people were giving him a whole lot of booze at a keg party. And he threw up, and we were all cheering, "Kid from the Sandlot's puking!" And it was ridiculous. We were like 19 to 20, whatever. Don't trip me.
I love that story, man. Every time you share it, I love it. And it's something that, like, I think everybody here on the Geek Show will definitely remember as well.
How many times the Sandlot comes up consistently on this show? We have a lot of Sandlot fans on this that watch our show.
Caleb says the Hulk. I agree. I like his backstory and just especially what's his name? Oh my God, Mark Ruffalo did such a great job. I mean, I know that Ed Norton, was the original Hulk in like the MCU, but really, really loved Ruffalo's take on it. In the JB cat information alert, unfortunately, no, James Bernard. Chuck Norris from the movie Invasion USA.
Who's going to give Chuck Norris a high five next month? I'm running a Chuck Norris 5K, and he's going to be there at the end of it. You're supposed to dress up like Chuck Norris. And somebody actually, they were like, how are you going to dress? And I was like, I'm going to go with Chuck Norris when he was in Enter the Dragon with, what's it called again? With Bruce Lee. And Bruce Lee grabs a tuft of his chest hair and rips it out. So I'm like, what if I just shave a part of my chest hair and I run that way and see if anybody gets the reference? And nobody will, and I'll look absolutely ridiculous, and I'm okay with that.
Oh, that's oh my gosh, that's fantastic. I like that, man.
All right, I'll send you a picture. A high five with me and Chuck.
You guys gotta like jump in the air.
Yeah. Is there any other way that you high five Chuck Norris?
No.
For God's sakes, no, there is not.
Well,
Hank, the Christmas joke.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Like the Mr. Hanky, like that, and like for some reason towel. I'll always just like randomly just be like, like just like
I'm so high.
Oh man. Though again, just like Seinfeld, like the secondary or tertiary characters in South Park, I thought they were even better.
The best, right? Yeah. Again, you can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter.
Ric Flair. He was a character. And then also too, JB rolling in with the Golden Girls cast. B. Arthur, by far the most creative. Rick saying, what's up? Pop culture, McFly, of course. Ron Burgundy is the best character ever, hands down.
That is a damn fine character, I would say.
Have you been listening to that podcast at all? Like, Will Ferrell is like has a Ron Burgundy podcast.
No way.
Yeah.
Does he like interview like in character?
Yep.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. No, I'm not a big podcast person, but I will have to check something like that out, I guess.
Rick says Jason from Friday the 13th because he never dies. Just like, was he the same person said Wile E. Coyote? No, it was somebody else. But people that never die, I guess, are creative. Like, I'm getting a thing right there.
What else we got?
First time he pukes from chew, now from booze.
Oh, no.
Awesome. Do you see that?
I hate when this happens now. So right now, Art's missing for me.
Really?
Big black square.
I'm right here.
And then I can see myself, but I don't know if I'm cut off or he's cut off. So now I'm just kind of sitting here talking to myself because he also has control of everybody's comments. But Brandon Kitchens says, first time he pukes from chew, then from booze. Haha, awesome. Art is saying, I am here. He's messaging me.
I'm here.
Let's see. Can he hear me, though? Art, if you can hear me, send me another message.
I can hear
Slack. And I'm going to refresh. He can hear me! So I'm just like, I'm totally flat. Actually, maybe I should just...
Hold on. I don't know if anybody else can hear me or see me or whatever the case may be, but I'm still here.
I think Art tried to restart me and it didn't work out.
All
right, so I'm gonna refresh and then see what happens. But I think we're getting down towards the end, so we'll see what happens here.
Glenn is saying Family Guy Brian the Dog is a brilliant character. Hawkeye from MASH is my hero. Rick, check out the Life of Dad show. I actually interviewed Alan Alda and we talked about fatherhood. We also talked about MASH. We talked about a whole bunch of things. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was here the whole time. I swear I was here the whole time. You can
hear me the whole time. So I was just like rambling over you.
No, you weren't. And then let's see what else. Don't forget to bring a towel. MacGyver was more creative than him. So I think we went through all the different comments, but yeah. Thanks again to Custom Ink. Always love this conversation. Next week we'll have another kind of creative type of thing, but get those t-shirts in right now. Love the military design one. Whatever you guys think of shirts that you like, just do some fun and like cool ideas with your family, especially with your kids. Make some cool shirts. Maybe even make a family crest. Make it up, right? I
want to make a Statham Picard t-shirt now for you. Wait, who's the third person?
Jason Statham, Picard, and oh man, who was the other one?
Mr. Clean.
That too. No, that wasn't in there, but somebody else. Walter White.
Yes. All right. Good. Yeah, we're gonna do this. That's gonna be my design. It's gonna be stick figure.
Also, Jason, Josh, we can see you. Everybody can see us. All right, use the force. We're trying to do something. Anyways, thanks again to Custom Ink. Go to lifeofdad.com. Check out the Design with Dad contest. Start creating shirts. You can get a chance to win a Custom Ink gift card and some cool, and like you're bonding with your kids by, sitting down and designing. Like my kids and I, we love designing t-shirts together or just making different designs, and we put some on t-shirts and all that. So check it out. But for Patrick and I, thanks again for checking us out on the Geek Show every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Pacific. Mountain Time, you're 7. All right. We love y'all. We'll see you all later. Bye.